I didn't do a check, but should be fine.
Let's do a check anyways.
This thing's super sensitive.
Yeah, it's like your feelings.
Internet weapon.
Thank you for joining us for the PEBCAK Podcast, a weekly information security show featuring some all-around good people. It is week 33 of 2023, and we are recording our annual episode live from BlackHat 2023. With me, I have my co-host, the Vanilla Gorilla, who never misses a penalty kick when the game is on the line.
You know, B Dizzle's in the house, ready to rock and roll and have a good time with you guys today. I may have had a couple of adult beverages today. How about you, Chris?
We are just coming off one of the partner parties that we did sponsor, so we should make for a good episode today.
Yeah, we also have a special guest today.
We do. So our guest today is Victor DeLuca. So thank you for joining us, Victor.
VD.
Yeah, you guys are welcome. I was dragged here against my will.
that was all Brian.
His name is VD. Like that. You know what that means, right?
VDL.
VDL.
No, it is VD. Is there a space between DeLuca?
Yeah.
All right, you're off the hook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
VDL.
I will say that if we have a problem in Vegas and you need a blood transfusion tomorrow, don't get it. Like you'll get all the hepatitis, all the hepatitis. Like that blood is tainted. It is not good. We got to steer clear of that stuff.
Yes, we are recording from Las Vegas. This is, I guess, technically day one of BlackHat.
Technically, it's day 3 for me. But so Victor, where are you from, buddy?
Montreal.
All right. And what brings you to the podcast?
I was dragged here by force.
You were not.
You pushed me in the back, and you have pretty big arms, so I didn't want to fight back.
Did I really force you, or are you an actual fan?
It was halfway consensual.
Halfway, semi-consensual. Okay. All right. Well, we're happy that you decided to come.
That's a new term.
A lot of people actually said no. They're like, no,
they did. Yeah.
A lot of grown men actually said that they were tired.
They did. I think we probably went through probably 5 or 6 candidates that we tried to bring on for our annual live episode. So also, as you can tell, so Glenn is not on the show today.
Freaking Glenn.
A conflicting appointment. He did not make it out to BlackHat, so he could not make it onto the annual. We do miss you, Glenn. We wish you were here, but we wish you the best.
He's my favorite.
He's your favorite.
Get the hell out of my room. Your favorite? Are you serious, Glenn?
His audio is perfect.
Oh, geez. All right. Yeah. This guy's a true listener. He knows. Glenn, he is literally talking crap about you, not to your face, but online. I love it. So Victor, talk to us, buddy. Where are you from? What are you doing? Curious about who you are.
As I said, I'm from Montreal. I'm Canadian, so that's why I was asking about all the laws in Nevada, the open carry and all that. I've been working at Zscaler for close to 2 years now. I'm a sales engineer. And I come from a security background. I've worked in security all my life, started in the Army, and then I switched to cybersecurity, and I studied cybersecurity. I have a bachelor and a master's degree in cybersecurity. So,
a master's, really?
Yeah, I studied.
He's got the biggest degree out of all of us.
I'm finishing my MBA as well, so I'm going to have 2 masters now.
Oh, double masters.
Next semester.
You should do? Get a master's in debating. You'd be a master debater. I think you would be the best master debater that's out there. What do you think? Maybe not.
Well, I don't know. Let's debate it.
So what was it like serving in the Canadian Army? I genuinely want to know.
It's tough, but it's a great learning experience. And I always call it the trampoline. You can jump and fall on your face, or you can jump and end up really high in the sky. So it's really, there's 2 ways about it. Like, I think any armies in the world, it brings you a lot of skills. It teaches you a lot of stuff, and
you can't jump and land on your feet though. Like that's no
one stays the same. It changes you. It changes.
Did you do any Arctic training?
I did a lot of different training. So I would always just say yes to everything. Okay. Because I was young and eager to learn.
Man. It's a good attitude to have, though.
Yeah.
Like, what was your favorite thing that you experienced? Yeah.
I guess shooting tanks was pretty cool with an RPG.
All right, that is definitely one up me on anything I've ever done in my life. How about you?
What kind of RPG were these? Like RPG 7s, Russian made? Or...
No, so they were the Canadian version, so the 84 mil.
Okay. Did they say "I'm sorry" right before they hit?
All the time.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. I'm sorry, buddy.
Sorry, buddy. Hey, I'm sorry, buddy. I like it.
That's awesome.
Well, honestly though, for all the Canadian listeners, thank you for your service. Is it mandatory or is it voluntary there? I don't know.
No, it's not. I signed up at 16 after high school and stayed there.
Graduated at 16.
You graduated at 16.
Served in the military, double degrees. Jeez. All right, I'm jealous.
But I can't tie my shoes, so honestly, it's a
Give it a
trade-off.
He's got the old school Chucks on right now, so there's that. But they are white as I've ever seen any shoe in my entire life.
That's the vanilla gorilla.
The vanilla gorilla's here, yes sir.
He is also the snazziest dressed out of the three of us here today too.
He's got the pinstripes on, so
yeah, he did. He actually dressed up for the partner party tonight, and Brian and I just rolled in with whatever we were wearing to dinner,
smelling like steak and failure. yeah, baby.
Yeah, well, we are in Las Vegas, and this is I can't even count. This is probably my 6th or 7th BlackHat. How many has it been for you, Brian?
All I know is that this is the hottest BlackHat because Chris, in his infinite wisdom, sets the AC to 80 degrees, and we're just over here sweating balls in his room. Don't even edit this out. Just believe it, so that people feel the pain of like how miserable it is here.
And it's off right now.
Yeah, I told you to leave it on, but I can edit it in post. But
no, he didn't say leave it on. He goes, well, I guess I'll just have to edit and post. Like, what? You freaking valley girl. Like, no, thank you. Like, we'll just turn off. We'll be men. We'll get through it. We'll sweat. No big deal.
Yeah, Victor, what number of BlackHat is this for you?
First
time
in Vegas.
Oh, first popping your BlackHat cherry.
Yeah.
And Vegas. First time in Vegas ever.
Exactly.
What was your first impression of Las Vegas?
It's not walkable. I'm used to cities that you can walk around and go to the restaurant, go to your hotel, take public transportation, take the train or metro whatsoever.
They have a bus here.
No matter what you say, Canada's not better than America. I don't care what you say, even in the cesspool.
I was not concede that. I was in Spain Sunday, and every city in Spain is very walkable.
You psychopath, Lindsay. Spain and Sunday, and he's over here.
Monday, Vegas,
Wednesday on Vegas. All right.
Monday home, and then Tuesday on the flight to Vegas. So yeah, effectively, I'm like 9 hours behind right now.
Can we just trade lives? Because you're living it, man. Hey, what? This is pretty cool.
Just trying.
Yeah, walkable is an interesting one because I would say I was at BlackHat probably before the pandemic, so I would say 2019. I was actually able to walk from one hotel to another. It was fairly far. It was pretty hot, but I would say this year is pretty dang hot here, and it's definitely not walkable when the sun is out.
Yeah,
dude, I'm just effing freezing, man. Like 99, I needed a burqa on. What is that in Celsius? Like no one actually cares.
99 in Celsius must be like 35.
Yeah, that sounds cold, right?
37.
No, it's warm.
Think, yeah.
Oh, 37. Look at the
37
coming in with the math correction. I wonder why.
But then again, global warming is not real for Americans, right? So
it depends on who you ask.
It's true.
Yeah. I would say half the audience would probably say you're right, and the other half would say
based on your last president. One's sleeping and the other is spreading lies. So
take your pick.
You never know.
Yeah, it's true. What else? What else did you notice about Las Vegas? The airport, coming here, alcohol culture, walking on the strip. What else did you notice?
I haven't really gotten out of my hotel room, but honestly, everything has been really expensive. I ordered Uber Eats last night, and it was like $40 for like just cheap Indian food. 40 USD, which is even worse than Canadian. So
Canadian bucks.
What kind of
$5 million?
What kind of Indian food did you order?
Paneer.
What is it?
It's like Indian cheese and sauce.
I just said Panera. I'm like, bro, that is just straight up white people American food. Like, you order mac and cheese? All right.
So it's important to know Victor is a vegetarian, so that's why he ordered the black paneer.
Is it too late to get him off the podcast?
I don't kill animals. They're vulnerable.
I kill animals. Like I shot 13 pigeons the other day just because they're
really?
in my house. Like, no, thank you.
Yeah, no, I heard that story, but no, I don't need animals to feed myself.
Hey, all the power to you.
Yeah.
Even I think, as the great Jeremy Piven said, like even lettuce screams and you rip it out the ground. So
who's Jeremy Piven?
Jeremy Piven from Entourage. Oh, bro.
No, man.
Again, the age gap here is tremendous.
So earlier you said like you studied a lot. I have no culture. That's the trade-off. I can't tie my shoes and I have no culture. That's the trade-off.
Are those slip-ons?
Don't really watch Netflix. I have no culture whatsoever. I don't know the actors. I don't watch movies at all.
No, I think you have culture because you've been to Spain. You live in Canada. And you're over here hanging out in Vegas. I think I'm the one with no culture.
Eating Indian food from
exactly. Eating Indian food. So, Chris, you didn't answer. What number BlackHat is this for you / DEFCON?
I did. I answered. I think this is 6 or 7 for me for BlackHat. This is probably my 4th DEFCON, I believe.
I've done 0 DEFCON, 3 BlackHats. Have you done Are you staying for DEFCON?
No.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So I have to come back next week
It's Thursday. So it's Thursday through Sunday. So the people that come for BlackHat, they can either stay, or I also know people that are flying in just for DEFCON. They fly in Wednesday night or Thursday.
Are you going into lockdown mode, or you have a burner?
I'm going lockdown mode. Yeah,
nice.
So for me, it's lockdown mode.
I'm already in lockdown mode.
Yeah, or I leave the phone in the hotel room. I don't even bring it with me.
You hear that here? You heard that here first. This is a Texas hotel room. Apparently,
yeah.
That's how you.
Where's your camera? Where's your modem? You don't have anything. No protection.
I don't have the travel modem.
Don't even open carry right now.
Yeah.
But he has his internet comm. He actually has. Don't you have the CCW for Vegas here?
No, mine's in Utah.
Oh, is it Utah that has like the umbrella?
There's like 30 states that recognize it. Nevada is like iffy. So it was recognized at one point. It was not recognized at one point. I think it might be recognized at another point. But the problem is when you travel with a firearm, you have to check in, and I absolutely hate checking in my bag. So coming here, Vegas story, my flight was already delayed an hour and a half. I was United boarding group 4, and there were probably like 50 people in front of me, and they made the announcement, hey, everybody's got to check in your bag. So take out your lithium batteries and your e-cigarettes. So I hate checking in my bag. When I got here to Vegas, more than an hour and a half late at that point, I had to wait. Since it's United, they don't have that guarantee like Alaska does. I can't even tell you how. I probably waited like 40 minutes for my carry-on bag to pop out.
Oh, geez.
Well,
so let me ask you, in Canada, are you allowed to own firearms?
Yes.
You are?
Yes.
Does it require a special permit, or you just go out and buy?
2 permits. You have to get your hunting license first, and then your license to own.
Okay. Do you mind sharing us with what you actually own?
Nothing at the moment, right? Nothing.
Nothing. Okay.
Nothing right now.
He just has the permit, he said.
What would be the go-to if you had the money, the willpower to go out there? Would it be just a hunting rifle?
An OG Mosin.
Okay.
Because I like the bolt action.
Yeah.
I like what's actionable. Like my first car was a stick shift. I like guns that are actionable. Like that's
reliable, right?
It's reliable.
Yeah,
it's easy.
It's rugged. It helped the Russians win World War II.
Yeah.
I mean, we won World War II. Excuse me.
It's debatable. At this point, the Russians were already in Berlin. So
we won the Western Front. The Russians came in from the east and threw out it. So
whatever.
Definitely arguable.
It was already 17-0, and then the US were like, "Oh, let's join, guys. We're gonna save you."
You're welcome. You're welcome. All right, so bolt action. All right. Are you allowed to have any shotguns, semi-automatic?
The laws changed recently where it's a bit more difficult. So I think the handgun.
Repeat that sentence for him.
What?
Repeat. I was coughing, so repeat that sentence.
Oh. So now the laws changed with Trudeau, so it's a bit harder to get your handguns. I think the regulations changed, and it's hit and miss depending on what you want to get. So I don't know what's legal anymore because it's really messed up. But yeah, my Mosin would be the go-to. I don't really like handguns. I shot handguns multiple times, and I don't find them to be as reliable and precise. And to me, that's what I liked. I did the sharpshooter. I was a sharpshooter and everything, so I liked shooting at a distance and reliably.
Mm-hmm.
So that for me is what sporting.
Dude, I'm with you. I'm terrible with a handgun for some reason. I am like awful. I am hot garbage.
Like 6 meters away and it goes into the sky. Like
yeah, like at my house, it's a shotgun. That's the home defense system. Like if I had like a 9mm 40 cal, like chances are I'm probably gonna miss. Like I need something with the spray and pray right type of methodology.
What kind of precision rifle did you use in the Canadian Army? Was it like a Macmillan or was it like an adaptation of the US M40?
So I never shot the snipers, unfortunately, but I did shoot pretty much everything else that you can think of. So like rocket propelled launchers, the smaller as well, the ones that you shoot and drop.
like the NATO
Yeah,
rounds, like
the
5.56 or
Yeah, the multi-purpose machine guns,
7.62 NATO.
heavy machine guns, light machine guns.
Kind of feels like Chris is trying to like background check you. Like, is he really telling the truth right now? I don't know.
I'm a secret NATO.
I think it's interesting to me. The world's longest confirmed kill was a Canadian. It was Canadian sharpshooter using the Macmillan TAC-50, and it was from, I think it's like 1.2 miles in Afghanistan from a 50 caliber rifle.
How much of that was luck, or do you think it was 100% skill?
It was both for sure.
Yeah,
I think
it's like 4 kilometers, right? Almost 4 kilometers, I think.
I don't know miles per kilometer.
1.2 miles is like 69 kilometers. I'm not
freedom
good at
units. How many freedom units?
Freedom units. Yeah, there you go. You get it.
Rob Furlong. Look it up.
Yeah.
Rob Furlong was the.
Hey guys, we're recording a podcast, and we should talk about our topic one and all that good stuff.
One thing I wanted to say was that
Yeah.
I'm envious about the snipers in the Canadian Army because they get to ride around in the G-Wagons. So they get the G-Wags.
Mercedes, yeah.
Time out. G-Wagons, hot garbage. That is like a Jeep Wrangler is exponentially
And
better
they always-
than a G-Wagon.
They always flipped over.
Yeah.
So that was the joke. Like we would go in on the base and whatnot. Like even in Europe, they would fly them over and then they would just flip. Whenever you turn too much, like they would just flip
Just roll
off.
easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're real top heavy.
Yeah.
High center of gravity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Terrible vehicles.
All right, we're 16 minutes in, so let's get back on the topic we're here to talk about. So we are here at BlackHat. What observations have you had? So today was officially day one. I walked the floor a little bit, but if you guys got to see anything, what were your observations for BlackHat this year?
I guess I'll go first. So AI and ML is being played out, like everybody's doing it. So it changes my talk track 100% on how I position that, because I do think that we do a little bit different, a little bit better. Just because we've been doing it for so long, even though we're introducing it, right? Week one of functionality, but I do believe it's a little bit more dialed in. I saw one company by the name of Blink, and they're using generative AI to build policy to be like, hey, like I have a DLP event, something's going on, I want to notify somebody on Slack, maybe it's the DLP admin, and then if he or she produces a verdict of good, bad, or indifferent, it notifies the user or allows the policy to kind of go through. That is kind of cool, right? But like at the same time, I'm like, oh yeah, our users are really stupid, so we want to make it easy for them just to type it in a box. Like, how easy can we make this?
Is the justification for the DLP event?
Mark Porter, who I love dearly, even though he's an idiot sometimes. Mark, I love you. He's working at a company called TX1, focused on some OT stuff. Pretty cool, right? For the sheer fact that, they have stuff that's running on Windows 95, Windows CE devices. They're writing code for like back in the day to do OT security. I think that was kind of neat. But other than that, that was kind of it was literally, I was walking to the meeting space. And so I dropped in on a couple spots and I thought, give it a chance. I haven't walked the entire floor. How about you boys?
AI everywhere has AI. So that's echoes one of the trends I've seen for sure. AI, generative AI. One of our partners, Sentinel-1, they have a chat bot that you ask it, what are the TTPs for this particular event? What's the minor attack framework? And it spits it out. So it writes the rules for you based on just very simple English inputs. I thought that was.
What about Canadian input? Do they understand starry language?
Hey, buddy.
What's going on, eh?
But I feel like ChatGPT is changing everything and it's not changing anything at all at the same time, because I saw a lot of demos about how we can block ChatGPT. Well, yes, it's a URL. I feel like a lot of people have their mind blown by the product of
a little
ChatGPT.
Captain Obvious, right? Yeah.
But at the same time, it's not different than any other application I find. It's just from a threat perspective, like, yes, you can ask different things and you can input text and whatnot.
The website, yeah.
I don't know that it's a threat. I look at it more of it like a data prevention or data privacy. Like, because if I can log in from anywhere in the world, right, whether it's a sanctioned PC or grandma's computer, right, the bottom line is, at least in ChatGPT, is that it has the chat history. So if I'm posting source code from my computer there and it shows up, like that could be an exfil type of way of doing it. So I think, browser isolation, being able to talk, decrypt, hone in on that data is very, very valuable.
Yeah, but also compromise accounts. So if you post that source code to ChatGPT and somebody compromises your account, well, now all of a sudden they can go into your chat history and download that source code. So if you say you're only allowed to access that through isolation, you're not allowed to paste, or alternatively, you can go the Samsung model. So Samsung famously leaked source code to ChatGPT, and they created a rule that said you're only allowed to upload 1 kilobyte of data to ChatGPT. So if I want to ask it for restaurant recommendations, that's fine. But if I want to post source code that's over 1 KB, then that's going to be blocked.
1 Kobe Bryant? I don't know what KB means. Not all of our listeners are ready for this kind of dialogue, man.
From my perspective, I saw a lot of zero trust for IoT, OT devices.
Right?
That was another one. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I would second that. A lot of focus on IoT and OT devices.
I still call it IOC or iOS, Internet of Crap. Like, it is literally hot garbage that's coming over there. Saw some cool things, right? I do think, Zscaler's companies doing some innovative things to kind of capture that data. And it's kind of interesting. Like, if you look at like some of the people that are out there, like you want to take like a hospital that has a bunch of MRI machines, right? And you want to look at that and like, how many MRI scans is it doing a day? And it's encrypted. How are you really creating that verdict that one MRI machine did 72 and that one did 14, right? Like how is that? At the end of the day, it's a very large image, right? There's peaks in traffic, so they can kind of extrapolate. They don't know for sure that it's 72, but they saw 72 spikes, right? The other one's 14. And I think the business value to that is, wait a second, like, that you could probably squeeze another 72 out of the one that's doing 14. Like, why are you not leveraging that, right?
Load balance it.
Yeah, load balance, exactly.
And establishing normal behavior of OT, IoT devices must be very difficult because they're not all linear in their behavior. So I assume that's one difficulty. I also got the chance to speak with the VP of sales from Zero Tier. It's a company that does a lot of IoT, OT sort of networking and protection and management. And I feel like that's a real problem that a lot of companies seem to have right now, like managing their OT stack.
Yeah.
And how many of them they have. Most of the larger companies don't even know how many assets they have. So connecting to them is a difficult thing to do.
Well, being able to speak OT protocols is going to be very critical in that.
Establishing a standard.
Right?
Establishing a standard is
going to be critical infrastructure. Things that run power companies, things that run gas pipelines, things that run hospitals.
What really is the TAM on that, right? Like when you we have 2,000 workstations. Are you going to sell it for $20,000 a workstation? Like that? Like, I don't understand the actual total addressable market on that just yet.
It depends. How much would you pay to prevent the next Colonial Pipeline? How much would you pay to not have a gasoline shortage on the entire East Coast?
How much would I pay to stop the Barbie movie? That is the real question.
Oh,
yeah.
Did you see it?
No, but I saw the preview. I'm like, I love my daughter, but I don't think we're gonna go watch it.
What about Oppenheimer?
I haven't seen it yet, but that's
it was good.
I'd probably watch it at home.
It was long, but it was good.
That's what she said.
Wow. Thank you, man.
Mission Impossible was amazing. That's a good movie to go watch in the theaters. I 10 out of 10 recommend.
It's only part 1 too, right? It doesn't leave on a cliffhanger.
Yeah, it cliffs you, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say the other trend, just walking the floor, I didn't really talk to many people, but I was just observing what other companies have done. The other observation I would say, there are a lot. So I would say the vast majority of companies that are here at BlackHat are very niche players that have absolutely no chance of going public, and they're hoping for an acquisition play. Because I truly think the future of a platform play. So when you look at platform companies, there are many vendors that play in this space, but none of them are niche. None of the major vendors out there that have gone public within the last year have been niche players.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. Can we go back to like the IoT and OT stuff?
Like the IoT and OT. That I think that's very niche. That I don't think those companies would go public. It would get acquired by a platform that needs an IoT or an OT story.
Yeah. So if we look at it though, that traffic of IoT, if you're trying to do some type of classification or even OT, well, no, this is focused on IoT. The reality is it's a dumb device you can't install anything on. So man in the middle becomes very, very difficult. So at the very best, you're getting SNI or MAC address. Like that's pretty limited and narrow type of vision. I don't think anyone's actually able to maybe do like some 3T type of TLS fingerprinting to look at that. But at the end of the day, like if I'm sending traffic to AWS, right? Like it's AWS at the end of the day. Like maybe there's a C name for it and I can kind of like, oh yeah, that's a Honeywell thermostat. But there's got to be some type of change in that for us to really start to look into that data. And I don't really know how we're going to do it. Maybe we should talk to China.
I think the problem is the lack of standards. There's no available widely adopted standards. So some devices will speak something, some other devices will speak unencrypted, some other devices don't even know how to integrate within the network. So as long as they can get out to the internet, I feel like that's what's needed, and then that's it.
Yeah.
Some vendors will never do the extra mile to implement security or implement like anything that could help with integrating within an actual existing network.
Well, they're so hopped up on just trying to get the MVP, right? Like this is what we're doing, and we don't care that there's vulnerabilities.
Yeah, they're losing 25 mil a quarter, of course.
Yeah, they're trying to get that stuff pushed out. Thank God a lot of it is SSL, TLS encrypted, but at the same time,
if you have default password, it doesn't matter how encrypted it is. If you have admin, the rest goes out the door.
Yeah. I did a recent audit on all the IoT stuff in my house. Everything is reaching out either over SSL or QUIC. 100%. I don't have anything unencrypted moving out there. How about you guys?
I looked at my television. I think that was the only thing that I was concerned of. The rest, I was sort of controlling it. Like I knew what it was and I could control it, but my TV, I was not able to get a clear picture of what it was doing, when, how, and all that. It was difficult. It was randomly just pinging to the servers.
Random IPs.
Yeah.
I had an LG TV about 5 years ago that was Zscaler had said that was downloading malware.
Yeah.
But it was over clear text protocol, and that's how we knew that was going on.
I have an LG TV.
Yeah, I have the same thing. I have the LG TV. I installed some app. It's and mind you, it's from the official LG App Store, and it was, I forgot, it was either an aquarium or a fireplace background. And
of course,
setting it through Zscaler.
Romance, man, over here.
It says, "Oh, you're trying to connect to a website that's hosted in the Russian Federation." So they uninstall real quick.
It's weird. All I see is Chinese propaganda. I don't know why.
It's an big red flag.
Yeah.
West Taiwan content.
Taiwan's not real. It's Chinese Taipei.
By the way, you are so pale. I think if you looked at like a Chinese flag, you get a sunburn. Like you are. Is there no sun in Montreal?
I mean, I'm back from Spain. I was in Spain for 2 weeks. I was just born that way.
Wow, man. I get
coming from you though, vanilla gorilla.
Yeah. But I got some color. But I live in Arizona, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Step outside and you get burned immediately.
Yeah. But you are like a fair little princess. I'll give you that. I'm messing with you, Victor. We love you, man.
So, Victor, this being your first time in Vegas, what else has you observed? So everything here is really expensive, and we actually saw that tonight. So we were at a vendor party, and we ordered a Red Bull, which was not on the menu, not included, and I think it was like $17 a can. So, like you said, very, very expensive. What else have you noticed here in Las Vegas?
Yeah, as much as the food and the drinks are very expensive, I noticed that the hotels are not, which got me guessing, like, why are they that cheap? I saw hotel rooms going for like $50 a night, which is unthinkable in most of the large American cities.
Yeah.
And I realized that most of them have a casino inside the hotel. So I imagine that they have a different route to revenue.
Yes, absolutely.
And that shocked me also when I landed at the airport. People were smoking and playing like those machines.
Slot machines.
Yeah. And in Canada, you're not allowed to smoke. You're not allowed to play slot machines at the airport. So that really shocked me. So I imagine that they have different routes to revenue. I was impressed.
Yeah, I don't know if it's something unique to Nevada, but yeah, I mean, you can go into a grocery store here and you can play slot machines. You can go to a bar and there's like a poker machine there. I mean, gambling is ingrained in the culture here. And yeah, like you said, Victor, there are definitely lost leaders that try to bring you in. They make up the revenue on the gaming side. It's one of the reasons actually Nevada has income taxes. They make so much revenue off the gambling taxes here that they don't need to collect income tax on the residents here. And that's sort of a trade-off that the residents here put up with the gambling, because in exchange they get no state income tax.
Wow. I'm jealous.
Yeah, Mr. 54%.
I'm peanut butter and jelly right now.
Yeah. So did you roll the bones while you were here? You put money on black? Nothing?
I don't know how to play most of these games.
Okay.
So there's no point for me to even try. I don't know how to play poker. I don't know. I barely know how to play blackjack.
Dude, my daughters, They're like, she's 14 years old, knows how to play poker. We play Texas Hold'em.
That's a red flag, dude.
What? Like, no, we like to play. It's like a family thing, man.
Is she betting?
Yeah, we
Her allowance?
No, and like winner kind of take all. We make like
Would you win? Are you better than?
Oh, I will crush them.
Wow.
And let them know, like,
established dominance.
Yeah.
Who's the alpha?
Yeah, what's so funny about that is that my wife is like, my oldest kid she's attracted to alphas only. She's like, it's your fault, right? Like it's like you know what I mean? Like it's just one of those weird things. I'm like, because we'll watch TV shows and like she'll pick off the guy that's the alpha in there.
So muscular but not too smart.
No, just a leader, right? Maybe he's muscular and handsome like me. I have no idea.
But not too smart, yeah.
But super smart like me. Yeah. When you're a natural born leader, just happens. Yeah. Just like you, buddy. You'll get there eventually.
So, how old are you now, by the way?
I am 45,
45.
Or I'm 50. Who knows? So I'm not going to give it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll look it up. I'll find information on you.
That's okay. I have nothing to hide at this point in time. Just living the dream. So you didn't do any, like, not even the slots. Like, you just keep in mind, you just put money in there and you pull the handle. So you don't know how to do that.
I looked at them, but you need a card. You need the MGM card.
No, you don't.
Yeah, you don't have to have that. If you want to accumulate points, then you need the card.
Oh, I didn't know. See, that's how uneducated about casinos I am. Like, I never go, even in Montreal and Canada. I never go because I have no pleasure doing it. I find it boring.
Yeah, that's probably the right move. The house always wins. The odds are always against you. And the saying goes, Vegas was not built on winners. Everything you see around here was not built on people winning these gaming.
Wasn't it built on crime?
Yeah, like dead people. Jimmy Hop. So the year was 2002. I was young and innocent and dumb. And we were here for New Year's Eve. I guess it was 2001, going into 2002. And we decided to go out to the corner of the street where Tupac was shot, like pour out a little 40 for him.
Yeah.
And at that point in time, there's a crowd kind of, doing their thing. And there was this dude. And like we were pretty drunk, right? Like,
No.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. Fireworks in the sky. And homeboy decides to jump or climb up the street lamp, or the street light. And so everyone's encouraging him to do this behavior.
That's a really bold move. Thinking about how expensive healthcare is in the US, like that's a bold move.
Well, when you die, like this guy, like he fell off. Like, talk about a very sobering moment when you watch someone fall from a street light and is dead on the ground. I'm like, man, Tupac and this guy. Like, how sad.
That was his only option at this point.
No, he could have gone down, but he was just sloppy. Like he fell. And but nonetheless, that evening started at the Excalibur, and we were standing around, and we had a group of people, and half the guys wanted to go to AMPM, which is a convenience store, to go buy alcohol. The other half of us were like, if you gamble, it's free. Like, they just bring you drinks. So as we were standing around, I pumped 75 cents into a slot machine, like actual quarters. I pulled the jackpot, $2,500,
nice,
and which is the most amount of money I had ever seen in my entire life. Like, my savings account had $300, right? So I had $2,500.
And you were in Vegas.
And I was in Vegas. I went home with negative $100.
Gave it all back.
It was an incredible night. Like, I'm not gonna lie, we had a pretty good time. But the fact that I came home and I had nothing to show for it, and it was also the biggest amount of money I had ever had in my entire life, it was pretty embarrassing. So that was pretty much the last time I had gambled.
You must have felt good because you paid for a girl's law program, right? So must have been worth it.
You're reading between the lines there. I can't confirm or deny.
A lot of people got educated because of the
law school degree.
Yeah, law school degree.
Jared Brian Beach.
Yeah, like, man, I thought I was helping a family out.
What about you, Chris?
I used to gamble. In college, we actually had an Indian casino near us.
Time out. He was reading cards. Card counting. Go on.
We were.
You son of a gun. We knew it.
I live with a bunch of engineers, and we're like, all right, we're bored. Let's go do this. I think overall, in my entire gambling career, I'm up, which is already an accomplishment because the house always wins. The odds are against you. So my entire gambling career, I would say I was up either via card counting or just dumb luck or whatever. And I would say by the last time
smell that? You smell the
Yeah.
It smells like BS in here. Like Chris has never taken an L in his entire life. I don't believe you, man.
No, there are plenty of times I took L's, but overall,
I don't know. You've never taken just like this colossal L in anything.
He's Kobe.
Tally it all up. You got to be down.
No.
He's
Tallying
Kobe
it all up.
before the helicopter.
My daughter was playing Fortnite. She goes, "Watch this." This is right after Kobe died. She goes, "Watch this." She goes, "Kobe." And she takes a helicopter in Fortnite and crashes it into the mountain. I was like, "All right, like you're 12 years old. Like I respect the comedy, but it's a little insensitive, honey." Yeah.
And then she jumped in the car and did the pole walker, right?
No pole walker.
I mean, yeah, in my entire gambling career, I would say I was up. The last time I probably hardcore gambled was actually my bachelor party. It was here in Vegas probably 12 years ago by now. And my cousin that was with me, he won an insane amount of money, probably like $5,000 at the craps table, and another couple thousand sports betting. And I told this story before on the podcast. It was the Seattle Seahawks, which was the worst team in the league to qualify for the playoffs, against the world champion New Orleans Saints. They're offering 10-1 odds that the Seahawks
you meant
would
New
win.
England Patriots, the best team in the NFL, baby.
And I bet some money on the Seahawks. I'm like, I can't refuse 10-1. And then Marshawn Lynch had that amazing beast run, rushing touchdown to seal the game. And I won an insane amount of money on my bachelor. I actually came up on my bachelor. So despite the amount of money we spent on like the hotels, the entertainment, the meals and everything, we all ended up on
Can
my
you
bachelor
define
party.
entertainment?
Yeah, tell us.
Like line item, please.
We went to a few clubs. So we met with some people, and there
Did the rhyme with Smartfire?
A lot of these Kickstarters.
There were we went to certain destinations, and that Brian mentioned, and Mark Zuckerberg was actually there. So Mark Zuckerberg was
Zuck the cuck.
So to speak, sucking all the oxygen out of the room that night. So we happened to be there the same night as Mark Zuckerberg.
Was this before he was married?
Yes. Yeah, I believe it was. Yeah.
Was he a big roller? Like, were people like flocking? Or no?
He was. No, he was. Like, he got the best seat in the place. All the entertainment was surrounding him, obviously for obvious reasons. But it was fine. We saw.
Was he throwing bags, or was he just like tossing ones out there?
I don't know. We couldn't see him from where we were.
He's a reptilian, though. Like, he doesn't care about that stuff. He's way beyond that.
Why was he there? That's the real question.
He's conducting a study, probably.
Maybe he was celebrating with his homies, maybe.
So I heard an interesting story today or yesterday by someone that worked for Meta, and they said the telemetry that they have, one of the directions from an advertising perspective would be, as you're driving down the freeway, they should have digital signage that knows your location. And then the digital signage changes to some type of ad that would be specialized for you guys.
Yeah. It's like the Minority Report thing, right?
Yeah.
So in Minority Report, the guy walks into the Gap. It's a clothing retailer out here. It says, "Oh, thank you, Mr. Yamamoto. I hope you enjoyed those sweatpants you bought last week." So I think we're almost at that point here.
Yeah, I think we're dangerously close.
Yeah.
I want to be belittled, like, "Hey, dumbass, like those same jeans you bought last week, $35 off if you come in. I bet you don't have your receipt.
Yeah.
There's no price adjustment, you know."
Or you gain some weight, you can change your size.
Yeah. This is like, "Hey, fatty."
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is crazy. Yeah, I think I mentioned it on one or two podcasts ago. You know, the U.S. intelligence apparatus with their insane budgets, they say they would kill for 10% of the data that Meta or Google has on the general public.
I think they have killed, but we'll leave it at that.
And as opposed to you guys, I don't have an iPhone. I don't believe in Apple.
This guy, well, turn it
This
off.
guy.
Controversial.
Get in trouble. He's got
Instead, he has a Google phone that hoovers up his data and targets him with ads.
literally just gives it to him. Yeah.
Yeah, open source code.
Yeah. When was the last time you actually scrutinized any of that information?
Every day, all day.
Okay.
It's great to
You
go
get
to
out
bed.
of here, man. You're lying. JDL is lying to us, everyone.
Media.
media.
VDL, sorry. Do you have a nickname? We're the
Victor?
Vanilla Gorilla, Elasticsearch.
Oh, that brings up a good point. Thank you, Brian. So my official nickname, so I used to be Elastic Man or Mr.
Yeah.
Elastic. I'm officially changing my podcast nickname to Boris the Bullet Dodger.
Okay, because of your COVID dodging abilities.
Yes, yeah. So with the numerous close calls, literally everybody in my family catching it, and I still haven't caught it. This was actually brought up to me by Sammy, so thank you, Sammy. So my new nickname is going to be Boris the Bullet Dodger.
All right.
Wow.
Or Neo in
I
the
never got
Matrix.
COVID.
You never got COVID either?
No,
Man,
I
2 for 2. What is going on?
I'm vegetarian. I don't
I'm
eat
in
that.
the presence of excellence right now.
I don't eat that raw pangolin, so
You don't get COVID from meat.
You don't.
You get COVID from a vitamin D deficiency, which Brian accuses you of having.
I did, yeah.
What's your nickname, Victor? We need a podcast nickname for you.
What do your friends call you?
Victor.
DJOW?
I don't really have a nickname.
You don't have friends, is what we're really hearing.
Vic the Beat.
No wonder you jumped on this podcast. Friends, let me in.
Don't make me cry on the podcast. No, I don't really have one. I wish I did, but you guys can come up with one. I'll let you guys.
We'll think about it and we'll tell you next week. It's gonna be something to do with sniping people, though.
Yeah,
if I have it my way,
Vic,
Not very violent. I
not
don't even
very
kill
bad.
animals, so
Vic the Victorious, Vic trying to think of one that's catchy. All right, we'll come up with it next.
All right, B-Dog, we're on this one. VDL.
Yeah.
Not to be confused with VDI, which sucks as well.
yes, it's not security.
Yeah. Well, Victor, as is tradition, the guest always has to come up with a dad joke.
What?
Did you
No,
come prepared?
we have content to go over, Christopher. People are listening. They'll go an extra 5 minutes. Cover one story. God damn it.
All right, Ryan, you're up. What's happening in cybersecurity this week?
I don't have any stories. I rely on you to do this. So let me tell you. So it's actually one that I had shared with you on the group chat, and I decided to load up Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Facebook. I think I already said Facebook, but 5 different ones.
All the apps that hoover up your data.
Yeah, they hoover up your data, even though I don't use them. And I was curious if I went out to my Ring doorbell at nighttime, how often I would see the Apple infrared come up. You can capture that on camera. So he already knows the answer. So from an intrusive standpoint, from TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, Twitter, what do you think would be the most intrusive app that would be proactively scanning your face without any actual reason to why? That didn't make any sense, but we'll take it.
I'll say X.
You'll say X. You're violently wrong. So X, Twitter, and Instagram all did like a little flash, like it just checked. I'm pretty convinced, and I'm going to dig in on this, that it was the Apple awareness.
Yeah.
So it's checking to see.
So what I don't have on my Google phone.
Yeah.
Stay winning.
But well, you say that, but let's check it out.
Like, tired of winning.
You still have Face ID on there or something like it's like the Apple equivalent.
I don't have to.
Biometric,
okay. By some type of biometric, right? But anyway, I digress. Put it in front of an infrared camera, you'll see it. All right.
They can't get along with my biometric thumb.
So it wasn't X. We love X, number one. So egg on your face. But in this 42-second video that I captured, there was one app that stood head and shoulders above the rest. And as soon as I open up the app, you would see the infrared kind of flashing. As I scroll through different type of things like location, mutual friends, and I'm just scrolling, you can see it just every once in a while just flashing and doing this stuff and capturing. And then the third time, it flashed or flickered a bunch of times, and they had a bright light and just kind of held on to it for a very long time. And what you need to understand is that when you give these social media apps access to your phone, and you say, I want to give you access to the camera, you're doing the camera to them is both forward facing and reverse facing. Now, the downside is on infrared, I can only capture the infrared coming towards your face. So I have no idea if it's capturing any data forward facing. So out the back camera.
The LiDAR.
Yeah.
Were you wearing boxers?
I was wearing a sock. So, but I digress. So the end result was the one app that was hardcore, all in your face and doing unprecedented amount of facial scans I thought it would be TikTok. It was actually Snapchat. And it is an alarming type of information. And then I've only started to scratch the surface, but I've gone through, and what I do see is that there's an astounding amount of data being sent to TikTok, which is crazy because I know that my kids who are of age that are using it, they are sending photos, right? But I don't know that they're sending that much type of information. If you know anything about Snapchat, these children nowadays, they're in the front room, living room, kitchen, bathroom, wherever it's at. And if Snapchat has the ability of taking forward and reverse facing type of photos, they can really kind of, and they have your location, they can stitch together kind of a 3D rendering of your house.
Yeah.
And that is an insane amount of information that they'd be like, well, you know what? You need we know what your house looks like. You don't have a Roomba, right? They can sell the data, target me, I can clean your floors, right? Or maybe you don't have drapes in your front room. Like they can sell that information to Amazon.
That's the Zillow X Snapchat collaboration you didn't know you needed. You could sell your house on Snapchat.
You probably could. I don't like it.
And or your kids.
Or your kids, exactly. So anyways, in the downside is in our house, it's an iOS platform. I can't decrypt that traffic because it's certificate pinned. Yeah. So even if I load it up, actually it's not even TLS pinned, it's UDP 443, so I can't see that data anyway. So all I can do is block it, which I do now. The amount of data being uploaded from these phones doesn't justify the amount of Snapchats that are being sent. And to me, it's scary of what that actually could look like.
And who owns Snapchat? I don't use Snapchat, full disclosure, so I have no idea.
You're young. I would have thought that you did.
Yeah,
I'm in Gen Z.
Snap Inc. They are an independent company, but at the end of the day, they are an ad company.
They are ad. Okay,
they are
I didn't
an
know
ad
that.
company. Yeah, and
Well,
that's what they target you with. They target you with ads, and based on what you like and what you want, that's what you go to. And I mean, I've read things like people go on Snapchat to use search engines, even to do like research for homework. They go on Snapchat, they look for news articles.
So I'm showing Victor right now like what this video looks like. So here I am just opening up the app. Now keep in mind when I do open up the app, it does default to the camera, right? So I'm just going to fast forward. I end up closing the app. You'll see it go crazy right there.
Yeah.
So now I'm out of there and I'm just scrolling through and I can see this thing is going crazy for no apparent reason whatsoever. That should be, if there's not a giant red flag in the world, I don't know what there is.
Oh, you just took 1,900 different selfies.
Yeah, right. And I have no idea what that actually looks like. And I don't know that if it's doing the back camera as well, right?
Could be.
Yeah, because you can't see LiDAR.
Yeah.
You can only see IR. Yeah. And then when Brian and I went down this rabbit hole, one of the justifications, take it for what it is. Apple says that their True Depth camera uses infrared technology to tell if you're actually looking at it or not. And I've actually seen this in practice, that things like screen time, when they tell you how much time you've been spending on an app, it's relevant whether or not you're looking at the screen. Because when I use Waze for driving, that shouldn't count as 2 hours of using my phone if I just leave it up for navigation. And same thing with Zoom calls. If I join a work Zoom call, I just join the Zoom call, I put the phone down, I never look at it again. That shouldn't count towards my screen time. Yeah. So that they say that's one way of them checking if you're actively participating with the app.
But I call BS because all the other apps are not doing that.
Yeah.
And that's the part that kind of freaks me out.
Yeah. It could be part of how the social media companies, they monetize users differently. So if I subscribe to Zoom, they get my $10 a month no matter what. If I use it once, I use it 100 times, they get my $10 a month. But Snap, Instagram, TikTok, X, they all have a metric called monetizable daily active users, so MDAU. And that's what they have to roll up to their advertisers, since we have 30 million monthly or 30 million monetizable daily active users. And that's the metric that they use to charge for their ads. So they might actually need that data, that you didn't just open Snapchat and leave it on your desk, that you're actually interacting with the application.
And this is where I call BS on that, because according to Snapchat, I'm a 21-year-old man. On the Explore page, I am confronted with Rogaine. I am a bald human being. You might not know that. And I've never taken a snap in my entire life, and penis pills. So this thing.
Oh, that's why.
So it knows the problems that you're dealing with and wants to sell you the remedies.
Hey, you son of a gun. That's not true. Not yet, at least. I'm okay with being bald. The plumbing's still working. Just saying. But it is an advertising company. If I've never consensually taken a Snapchat and they're using this data, and I'm a 21-year-old man, two things are true. I don't need Rogaine and I don't need a penis pill, period. Why am I seeing advertisements for it? And it's because they're capturing the information they're setting up.
You just outed yourself.
I'm okay with that.
Honestly, I think there's a business model here to be made, like using only the API. So having a single platform to manage all your social medias that's only using the APIs to post and fetch. That's it.
X killed that when they killed the API.
Yeah, and Reddit as well.
Reddit killed the API.
Yeah, but you could pay for that platform. You could have a centralized platform called social media.
Yeah.
And you can interact with your Twitter,
right
your
price,
Instagram, everything.
Yeah,
and I'm sure people would pay for that.
TweetDeck and all them that used to do it. Yeah, so I that's actually incorrect. So they didn't kill the API; they're just charging absurd amounts for the API now.
So would you guys pay for either X or Reddit?
I don't use social media enough to justify paying for it.
So I would pay, and this was the controversy at the time. I would pay for Apollo. So Apollo is a really good Reddit interface. I would pay for that. And they did have a monthly charge if you want to donate money, but Reddit killed that idea. I would have paid for Reddit access via Apollo. I won't pay for Reddit, the actual company, because I disagree with what they did.
Well, what was your karma balance though?
I don't know. I think I was like positive 2,000 maybe total.
Oh, that's not. I was in the negatives, man. Big fat hell, man. I got in trouble.
He was all those banned subreddits, like fat shaming and all this.
Fat people shaming.
I would say that I was probably in
watch people die.
A lot of subreddits where I was banned. Yeah, you guys are right.
Can't say I'm surprised, Brian.
I'm spitting back.
Were you letting it all out? All your controversial opinions that you can't say in real life are out on Reddit?
No, I would say the same opinions in real life as well.
Okay. Yeah. That justifies your negative then.
Just unpopular on Reddit.
Who's gonna check me, right? I don't know. Like at the end of the day. Like everyone's tough behind a keyboard, but like in real life, and that's kind of the nice thing about having a difference of opinion in real life is that you can have these type of things and have these civil conversations and be able to come to an agreement. And the most beautiful part about it is that we might not see eye to eye on something, right? But we can still have mutual admiration and love for each other, and be able to move forward. And that's really what's most important.
Yeah, freedom of speech.
Yeah. So it makes America great.
Did you bring a dad joke of the week?
I can make one up on the spot.
Oh, shoot. All right.
Well, we continue to get great comments about our dad joke of the week.
Dad joke of the week.
This week, our guest, Victor, is up.
You know what would have been a great name for a diarrhea medicine?
What's that?
Gonorrhea.
This guy came in clutch.
Clutch.
All right.
No preparation whatsoever.
No preparation at all. This guy came in. All right, man. I'm digging it. Good job, Vic.
I just work here.
All right. Well, that's all we have for this week. We hope you enjoyed this week's episode. You can find us on LinkedIn. Links will be in the description. Follow us on Instagram at PEBCAK Podcast. Thank you to all listeners and subscribers who rate us 5 stars in the iTunes Store and Spotify and left us a review. We appreciate you all spreading the word to help grow the show. The best way to find us is to search for the PEBCAK Podcast in your favorite podcast listening app. My co-host Brian Deach and our guest Victor DeLuca. I'm Chris Louie. Thanks for listening. We'll see you all next week. And as always, have a nice day.
Please help. I'm being detained in a hotel room.
No, you're supposed to buy Felicia. for Glenn. Do it. Give him a shout out.
Bye, Felicia.
You sound exactly like it. All right.
much more. Still more fight in me yet.